Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Natsuki, and I would like to talk about the issue Japan is facing currently, which is nuclear plant and nuclear energy. Before we go any further, I would like to define few words. Nuclear power plant, facility that converts atomic energy into usable power. In a nuclear electric power plant, heat produced by a reactor is generally used to drive a turbine, which is in turn drives an electronic generator. Nuclear power. The energy released during nuclear fission or fusion, especially when used to generate electricity. Radioactive. Radioactive means that the nucleus is unstable and will tend to give off rays of particles to attain stability. Please do remember the key terms because it is important. But first, let me introduce about how nuclear power works. A nuclear reactor produces energy through a chain reaction that splits uranium nucleus, releasing glee in the form of heat. The radioactivity of plutonium is higher and its life is longer than any of the other elements. Because of these characteristics, the public became concerned about the safety of its development and use. The earthquake off the coast of Japan on March 11, 2011 was one of the biggest recorded, measuring 9 on the Richter scale. There was a huge tsunami hit after the earthquake after a few hours, which caused the most devastating earthquake. The following day, which was March 12, 2011, the substantial amounts of radioactive material began to be released, creating the largest nuclear incident since 1986 and measured level 7 on the International Nuclear Event Scale. Significant amount of radioactive water was among the most pressing problem affecting the cleanup process, which is expected to take decades. The effect are continued spills of contaminated water at the plant, some into the sea. Plant workers are trying to contain the leaks using the measures such as building chemical underground walls, but they have not yet improved the situation. This map shows where nuclear plant is. As you see on the map, there are many nuclear plants in Japan. This also means that Japan needs a lot of electricity. However, nuclear plants are dangerous. Having nuclear power plant risks meltdown and suffer explosion and radioactive leaks. In Japan, workers have battled for weeks to try and bring situation under control. Radioactive material has been detected in various places. In Japan, residents are still recovering from the disaster. Radioactive water was recently discovered leaking from the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant, which suffered a level 7 nuclear meltdown and a tsunami. Japan relies on nuclear power, and many of the country's nuclear reactions remain closed because of stricter seismic safety standards since the earthquake. 4 years after the quake, about 230,000 people who lost their homes were still living in temporary housing. Japan's Reconstruction Agency said, at first, nuclear power was attractive largely because the demand for electricity grew at a steady rate into the 1960s, and coal-burning facilities were becoming environmental unacceptable alternatives. The high price of oil during the mid-1970s continued to make nuclear power economically desirable and helped keep nuclear energy as a prominent part of national energy plans. There are a few several solutions to this issue, which are solar panel energy and wind energy. From an environmental perspective, solar power is the best thing going. Mankind has been crazy to have not bothered to use the sun energies until now. They are good because they are environmental friendly, and they save electricity because they take power from sun. Although they are expensive upfront, they are cheaper in the long term. Another solution is wind power. Societies have taken advantage of wind power for thousands of years. Today, people are realizing that wind power is one of the most promising new energy sources that can serve as an alternative to nuclear power or fossil fuel generated electricity. Thank you for watching. See you tomorrow.